So I've been using the iPhone 15 Pro Max for the past few years now, and it's also been my main camera, and I just want to show you exactly how well it's been holding up with its performance and also just the things I've been doing as a photographer with it as my main camera, I would say, throughout its lifespan. I do use this as my day-to-day camera, but when I do want to shoot something a lot more professional, I do end up using my Sony a6600, which is kind of like why I'm making this video, because I believe I'm honestly about to, in a way, downgrade my phone to a different one, mainly because this one is out of storage and I just kind of need to offload it. And I've really just been reconsidering exactly like what I want out of a phone, and especially the size of a phone. So I'm going to talk to you guys briefly about exactly how well this phone has been holding up, and then I really just want to go into more detail on exactly how I was using the phone as a camera and as just like a daily driver in general. Now, getting into it, this phone has kind of held up throughout its lifespan, and I haven't had any issues with performance in any way. My battery percentage is now around 88%, and I would say like I still get through like the whole day. Again, this is like the max phone, so I mean you're getting like the best battery out of an iPhone with these kind of phones, which is also something on why I think this is something that would be worth for you, because these new chips that they've been putting in the iPhones, I would even say since like the iPhone 13, have been able to hold up, kind of just keep going to a point where you don't even really need to upgrade to the newest phone anymore. I mean, even the camera in this thing like holds up. This is like the first Max phone that I have had. The reason I ended up getting the Max is because I wanted that 5x zoom. My battery health is at 88%, and I would say that that hasn't really even affected the performance in any way. I typically only really use the phone for like social media. I'm not really much of like a gamer or anything like that for my phone. The iPhone 15 Pro Max comes with the A17 Pro chip with 8 gigabytes of RAM. This phone hasn't had any performance issues, even still to this day. I feel like it's kind of like the M1 Pro MacBooks. Like these 15 up, there's still an option that's worth buying into in 2026. For context, that just means it's going to last for quite a while. I feel like the next best thing would when phones start adding 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then from that rate, I'm just never going to buy one again, because I feel like that's even for like laptops. I mean, we are getting to the point for laptops that like you need probably like 32 at this rate for how intensive things cost, but hey. Now, the build quality from my 13 Pro, that this thing kind of just wasn't durable and it broke all the time, primarily the back glass. I am happy to say that I have had this thing caseless since I bought it for about 2.5 years, and it's never had any issues. I mean, even the titanium edges still look really good. There's a few dinks and scratches, obviously, naturally, I feel like with wear. It is more of a ritual for me to have like one little scuff on the phone. And I would say, bottom line, this phone still feels like a flagship phone. Like, I don't feel like I necessarily need to upgrade to a newer one, or even say like a better one, because this thing I can already tell is gonna last me a number of years. Even though I don't have the Liquid Glass iPhone update or the iOS 26 update, which is like the newest. Heard that the people do have issues with it, but hey, this one currently is preserved, and I think I literally can't even upgrade it because I have no storage to, and I'm just not gonna delete my photos until I offload and just get a new phone. But I'm gonna be real, I feel like if you are getting like an older phone like this, I would say hardware wise it does last. And one of the main things about these kind of phones is probably the camera, and I'm just gonna go into like honestly like the realest way of how I've used the front camera, the back camera. I'm gonna show you guys like selfies, the way I just take photos in general. I will say one thing with this phone is more on my end, because I've ran out of storage, and because I do transfer photos frequently from my main camera to my phone, it ends up taking up a lot of storage, because one photo from my camera can take up around like 25 to 30 megabytes, and imagine that stacked times like even this 100 photos. And now going into the camera, I would say that these things are incredibly solid. We have a main 48 megapixel sensor, and then but I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I always just use the 5x zoom, which even just takes it back down to a 12 megapixel sensor. For landscape photography and or just street photography in general, you can kind of notice a really big fall off, especially when you start to zoom in and in details from things that are more in a distance. And I mean, I'll even show you guys a few city shots that I've done within Chicago and or just like all around, and I'll like zoom in a bit so you can like see exactly like what is going on with the detailing, and if it's like something that you feel is right for you. But again, I would say this camera really much so does stack up, and with that, I really hope you guys do enjoy this long-winded camera roll dump.